What's up, everybody at home? My name is Jostatlala, and welcome to the first episode of the third season, guys. Yes, we made it. Yes, we made it. And this couldn't have been possible if it wasn't for you guys at home, the support. And you guys have been supporting us on YouTube. Obviously, listen to us on Spotify as well. That's where you can find us. I mean, we are grateful, guys. This show, it's only for you guys. And if you guys don't support it, this thing wouldn't be possible. Shout out to MTN FC as well for making it possible. Obviously we know that that's the main sponsor. Hence we are here as well, and we're going to start this season with the bang. I don't bring manga, players here. No manga business. I bring you big players, and the player that's sitting next to me right now is a boy that I played with him at Kaizer Chiefs, great guy. I don't know if he's a striker. I see him as a number 10, as a 10. You never know if he's going to shoot with the left or the right. He used to fool a lot of goalkeepers, and a lot of goalkeepers couldn't read where he was going to go. That's why he scored a lot of goals. He's a man that also represented the country in 2010. I know there's a few that I played with, Shaba, that was Yeye, and also like the Hond, represented the nation, 2010, when the first World Cup ever that has been handled by an African country. He was there. You know what I mean? Also played overseas. He won trophies overseas. And that's I think the trophy that he won there, that team, that was the only league trophy that team has ever won since he was there. I don't know if he knows that. They've never won a championship title since the last time he won it with them, when he was still overseas. Yeah? And also, this guy is breaking records. He's rated amongst the 10 best players that Bafana has ever had. Most kept. 10 best players that Bafana has. I mean, I only had 7 caps. And this guy rated amongst the best 10. And also in the goal scoring, bracket as well, rated amongst the best 10 players, top goal scorers that Bafana has ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Horned Mr. Bernard Parker. What's up, my boy?
I'm good on yourself.
Yeah?
Izinja zeGame. No, just thanks, man. Wow, what an intro. What an intro,
I don't know if you knew that, I know your history.
Yeah?
I know your history.
Hey, my brother.
Bro, you're in the record books, man. I mean, people take you for granted and all that. I didn't even know that, bro. You are rated amongst the best in the country.
Yeah, just it's in my book. I wrote a book, it's called From a Shack to Destiny. It's about my whole life story, where I grew up until to date. And everything is in that book,
What's the name of the book?
From a Shack to Destiny.
When you used to stay kumkukung.
And with all that circumstance, with all that upbringing, with all that difficulty, just I made it. So any South African out there who faces any challenges, any youth, boy or girl, boy or child, your dreams can come true. And I made it.
Doesn't matter where you come from.
And I'm blessed. I'm I'm number 3. I'm a number 3 of the all-time goal scorers for Bafana.
Who's number 1, boy?
It's Benny McCarthy,
number
then
2?
Sean Bartlett.
And
number 3. I shared number 3 spot together with Katlego Mpela. Killer. Yes. And then for Kaizer Chiefs. How come you didn't mention Kaizer Chiefs, Justa?
Kaizer Chiefs as well.
I played with you with Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, I know you got 500 caps with those guys. You got, dude, you had 350 caps with Kaizer Chiefs.
Over 350 caps.
Over 350 caps.
Over 30 derbies. And in the PSL era, Dihon is the all-time goal scorer for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yes, that as well.
For sure.
I got that in there. Just too many things to talk about it. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy, bro.
Have you been honored by let's talk about it. Let's start there. Did you get a jersey from Chiefs? Did you get a jersey from the PSL as a whole, or the Premier League? I know they do that. I've seen that overseas. You played overseas. I've seen people being honored before this game starts and whatever. Did you get anything like that?
I
In the
can
country?
remember I only got something for the 30 derbies. I've got a shirt. I've got
Wow.
a shirt that the players signed for me.
From Kaizer Chiefs.
From Kaizer Chiefs, yes. What that was presented by me at Orlando when we beat Pirates 2-1, and a good man of the match also in the same match. So that was a blessing, man. So that was the only honor I got. Other than that, we go with the flow. But the stats are there out there, and stats don't lie, bro. Stats don't lie.
They stay
Stats don't
forever.
lie.
Like, you know what I mean?
They
A
stay
lot of
forever.
people don't understand that the career goes so quickly.
Mhm.
Like, how long did you play for? Like, you was like, how long
20
was your
years
career?
from 2004 to 2024.
And-
Is it 20 years?
20 years. So you've left the legacy. Even though tomorrow you're not there, people will still be talking about
Definitely.
the beyond it. Do the young ones that you're coaching now understand what I'm telling you right now? That the legacy is more important than anything else.
Definitely. That's what I'm telling the young lads as well. I said to them, guys, whatever we do right now, what we're doing right now at training on a daily basis, I am basically preparing you to become a seasoned professional. And I'm actually implementing what I went through as a professional through the School of Excellence, through my development, through whatever. I'm actually giving you all the tools so that you can have a successful career and a longer career. So, but I keep preaching it, I keep preaching it, and I'm also leading by example, and I also show them a few examples as well, because the modern generation, they want to see things visually.
Do they know who you are?
Visually,
Do they know who you are? You show them more YouTube, and I look at them more YouTube or papa.
Papa, but
Hey, look at me, son.
Look at me, son. But I think maybe mostly their parents should know who I am, and I'm so grateful that still out there, I've got a lot of players that want to play for me, that are already in other clubs, but they want to come play for me.
Right.
So I think I am.
So word of mouth is like, hey, go to Parker.
Go to Parker. He's
the best.
Yes. I think maybe because of not only because of my coaching, but only maybe because of what I've done in the game, and anybody that would come to me, it would be more of inspiration and more of wanting to become like how I was, So I feel blessed in that kind of way, and I also feel honored and I also feel motivated that I keep giving my best to them. So my best it's for me to give my best, and everything else is up to them.
People think coaching is the most easiest thing. As a former player, they think, I could just plug out and plug in because I played for Kaizer Chiefs, I played overseas, I can be the best coach.
Yeah, not at all. Now I see it.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Now I know, and I can understand why coaches used to fight us, and why coaches used to just wanting to tear the hair out of their heads. Now I see it, and now I'm experiencing it, and I'm like, oh, okay. This is how it is from the other side of the line, from the outside of the line.
Yeah.
And a lot of challenges, and what, as I said, God created this world in such a way that God gives the best of the best talent to the underprivileged, and
What
the
you say,
poor,
bro?
the underprivileged. God gives the best of the best talent to the underprivileged and the poorest of the poor. And with all the challenges that I face on a daily basis, it's so crazy. But when you do that little for that boy child, they just lighten up, and when I see a face lightening up, that just fulfills me. And it's just for me as a coach, and for also the rest of the coaches, to make sure that we get the best out of that player, so that he can also become a professional and also provide as well at home.
Two questions.
Mm-hmm.
How far do you go for this place? There must be cuckoo. You didn't have it. Now you sitting there, you're a coach. There's boys but some cuckoo. Do you go do you go out and look for these boys, or do they come to you? Are you that coach that goes out to look for talent?
I got just in the beginning. I used to wait, because we've got a scouting department, and we also have a lot of connections as well, where people recommend players, and then I just say yes and yes and yes, and then I end up with a big squad, and then it's time wasting, because in football there's no time, it's time wasting. So then I said to myself, I go out there myself. I go watch tournaments. I go out there when we do trials. I found players
You're the new drummer.
As far as Bushbuck Ridge. Yes,
you're the new drummer, bro.
I'm the new drummer, and as far as Bushbuck Ridge, I went.
No ways.
I'm telling you, Josta. And I get to also touch lives, and the parents also, when they see me, they have that trust already that their child is in good hands as well. And when you build that bond with your players, you automatically get more respect, and you automatically get to get more out of them. And I wouldn't say on screen what challenges that we go through, but there's a lot of challenges. There's can't come to training for this and that, things that happen in the house.
I don't have money. There was fights at home.
Yeah,
we know
that. At home,
but when you are there to say, come,
yes, train. And come train, and do the best I can in order to assist them.
You give out the $20 sometimes for taxi. You do that?
Yeah,
we grew up around that era where I never used to have taxi money, and the coach would give me, Coach Floyd would give me $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you,
that's how it is.
Even if I needed $20, but the extra 30 wouldn't make it would make a difference to me, because I buy a quartanyana,
Oh, yes.
Are you that type of coach?
I am the type of coach. Reason why is because as I said earlier on, that I've built bonds with the players, and when a player says something, you can genuinely see it, that he meant it, So that's also key as well. And also, at the same time, I'm not only building a soccer star, I'm also building a human being, I'm building a human being. So the human being and the human part must come first before you become a soccer star.
True.
And that's what I'm about. And I keep my squad small,
Real? Like, how big is your squad?
I only got 24 players. They gotta have anything special in them? I think all 24 are special, because I have specifically had patience and picked them and had patience with them, and I understand them all fully. And in my first 7 months now with the club, they have actually improved so much and so fast, and they're giving me that surety that they can become good players.
We were talking about this off camera.
Mm-hmm.
Truth. We know that there are bad coaches out there that destroy talent.
Yeah.
That see talent. That talent might have a lot of work to be done on, in terms of attitude, in terms of behavior, what they do outside of, they got talent, but they don't realize. But the lifestyle is totally different. And most of these coaches come in and destroy it. Totally different from the States, totally different from Europe, where they nurture the talent.
Mm-hmm.
How can we change that we have coaches like you that nurture? Yes, it's going to be problems. It might be hard, but this boy has to know that he's a star.
Just all these years, that has happened. You've also had a long career as well, and you've also played for many clubs as well. Through all the years, that has been the case. And we have seen the gaps, and we know the gaps. But are we filling the gaps? We're not filling the gaps.
Not as much as we're supposed to.
We're not filling the gaps. Are we teaching the players in terms of how to be a seasoned professional? Are we implementing the core values into those players? Are we also taking care of the mind, the power of the mind, the mindset, the psychological part of the player as well? Are we filling those gaps? No, we don't. What we do is, if no matter how good you are, I just use you, and if something happens, maybe whatever, I let you go.
Yeah.
Why don't we protect? Why do we not protect? Have programs within our academies. have programs within our clubs. If he has become professional, then we have programs. Then we must make sure that they have a certain routine. I come to training, or before training, I have to do something. I have to do visualization. I have to sit with a psychologist in terms of psyching me up, or in terms of finding my level-headed mindset. After training, do I maybe get to find out how important nutrition is?
Oof.
You know,
The most important thing.
You see,
with rest as well.
With
Nutrition,
rest. Yeah, exactly. Do we understand those things? No, we don't. Also, your body as well, because this is what needs to be.
That's what brings
what brings. Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to understand also the mechanism of the body.
You're talking about the psychological side.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about, like, obviously seeing the what do they call these counselors? Obviously that deals with the stresses. What do they call? What's the word that I'm looking for? Psychologists. Oh, well,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. As a professional footballer in South Africa, you've been a professional for a long time in South Africa.
Yes.
How many teams have, like, psychologists dealing with, like, the players' minds? Have you seen a lot?
I haven't seen a lot. I don't know. I don't even know if anybody has.
Yeah.
But I think, us as footballers, when we become professional, we also spoke about it off air early on. When we become professional, then we tend to inherit a lot of responsibilities immediately, just then now you have to give money to your uncles, whatever you have to give money. You have to do this.
That's okay. I mean, you the breadwinner now. Nothing wrong with that.
You're the breadwinner now. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But remember, before you were breadwinner, you used to respect them.
Yeah.
You used to respect them. They used to advise you. You would be yes. Now you are the breadwinner. They would no longer advise you or say anything to you, because you would want to cut the supply that you give to them.
Yeah.
So they can't rectify you.
Yeah.
So now you think everything you're doing is right. So now everything that you think you're doing is right, you just do and do and do and do. And the next thing, they also keep putting more pressure on you. I don't say that it's all of us, but I think most of us, they keep putting more pressure. I need more money for this. I need more for that. I need more for that. And then also maybe if you have a baby mama, or if you have that, I need more that. I need more that. What do most of us do? We resort to the bottle. To all the stress and whatever. We're like, it's this one again. This one again. You resort to the bottle.
Good player at that point.
Good player at that point. And also with the modern age, with the modern football, and with the day and age, with social media as well. There's a lot of things on social media that's happening. Also with these social things that are coming up, it's on social media. You want to be everywhere, also at the same time as well. So do you take consideration about your rest? Do you take consideration about your mental health? You do not take consideration about
dehydration of alcohol, what it does to your body.
What it does to you. All those type of things, you do not take that in consideration as well. Plus, at the big team as well, just when things are not going well,
pressure.
You get a lot of pressure.
It comes with the territory, bruh.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But then, do we have people that can protect us as footballers? Within the setup, we're only human, just now. We all make mistakes and all of it, and we learn from mistakes. But we have people within our setup. I think we will have players that would give you more consistency. That's what we need. That's what we lack. I can mention names. There's a lot of top talent. I can mention names. One season wonders or whatever. Then the next thing, you don't see them 3 years down the line or things like that.
You did it for how long, bro?
We have people
20 years?
20 years consistently straight.
And then these boys can't even do it for 3 years.
They can't even do it for 3 years. So I'm saying, at that time, it was a different era. It was a different generation. But now in the current generation, with so many things that are happening, especially where you can access anybody at any time on your mobile device.
Instagram. But you're getting paid more than me. The money, you're getting more dough than me.
Yeah. That's the thing. They're getting more money than what we used to get. But with that more money, am I level-headed in terms of how I can maximize that money in terms of already designing my future? Do we have that mindset?
Or making sure by the time I'm done, I've paid off my house, I've paid off my car.
Yeah. or Mama Sandlin, my mom or my grandmother, whatever, they
It's
okay.
got a house. You've got a
They
house.
got a
The house
house.
is
They're
proper,
comfortable.
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Do we have that?
Nah.
No. We're just chasing. We're just chasing. Our whole career, we're just chasing after things. By the time you open your eyes,
It's too late.
it's too late.
The last 2 years in your career, now you want to make money.
Now you wanna
save.
you wanna save. It's too late. It's too late.
How was that transition in terms of you?
It's not easy. It's really not.
Now you just left this. You knew that if you blow, you can buy a 20,000 bag right now. End of the month, you're gonna replace that money, right?
Yeah.
Now suddenly, boom, all the 20,000 that you used to get as a salary is gone. How was that transition for you, bro? Like just leaving all these things. Like, how was it? I know you went through a lot. We're gonna talk about that and whatever. But that transition, you leaving the professional setup and like now you need to go and fund. At least now you got it. You got a job as a coach, getting paid a bit. But how has that transition been for you?
Just making the transition, it's really hard. It's really hard, and now I feel it. I feel it that what our ex-players used to say, just making the transition from a big team to a so-called smaller team.
Yeah,
there's already
crazy, right?
Already there's already depression on its own because now you've built a certain standard, I would say also. And even if you haven't paid up your house, or if you haven't paid up your car, and then you have to downgrade, then now you no longer can't afford that. That's also part of it as well, because now the salary can't match the debit orders. But then you also have to find a way. You have to find a way. You have to hustle. You've made a name for yourself. So once you've made a name for yourself, you have to maximize that as well. You're a brand now, which
that's how you looked at it?
I looked at it in that.
You like, I'm a brand.
I'm a brand. And also what helped me as well is my studies as well.
Yeah, so that
now
congratulations,
I
bro. What are you, a doctor now? What? I'm gonna call you Dr. Horn. What did you study, bro?
I wish I could. I wish I could be. Maybe one day, just when I'm a Madala, and I can get my doctorate.
Your doctorate, yeah?
Yes.
What did you study, bro?
I done sports management, then I done sports marketing, then I done sports nutrition, then I done exercise science, personal training, blah 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 blah.
One after the
other. Just
while I was playing with you, you were studying in the changing room.
Correct.
Like studying, Arle Campo, like we busy playing PlayStation, you busy studying. I know there's a few players. That's you. And we had Abianale Pa, who's a lawyer now. I know Jimmy was doing it. I don't know if he finished.
Yes.
Who else?
I think check.
So we had a lot of educated players in the team. Exactly. Masha Maite was already like a crazy doctor. So Masha, who else? There was so the Kaizer Chiefs team had a lot of guys that were literally into their books back then when we were playing.
Correct.
Mad. How did you guys do that, bro?
Knowledge is power. It goes back to having the routine. You have to find a routine. If you got that daily routine and you make it a habit, it becomes natural. That's all you got to do. And when it becomes natural like that, you also find mental strength within that process as well, Then you got to realize certain things, situations now start to materialize, and when situations start to materialize, solutions come up, how to solutionize, as well. Yeah. So, making the transition is so crazy. It's so crazy. And when it becomes so crazy, even though that some of us, we're not strong mentally and we get into depression and all of that, but you have to come to reality. You have to become to reality. Accept.
Nobody's gonna come and look for you, knock on the door and be like, "Hey, Baba, we remember you."
We remember nobody. Yeah. You're on your own.
You have to take that
You're
decision.
On your own
and accept. You were saying accepting that it's done now.
Yes, accept the reality and accept that it's done now.
But no, accept that bank account is saying 0 and you have to pay for the bond.
The good human being that you are as well, and the kind of support that you also got from your family and your extended family, they can also come in.
Family.
Family. They can also come in, and assist or patch where it needs to be patched as well. But I would say the most important thing is, I don't want to talk about agents, but I'm saying the most important thing is, and the most what we do as players, we listen to our agents, because our agents are the ones who negotiate our packages, you know. So
they negotiate or they get told?
Some of them, I think
they give them the price on the table. They're going to give Parker 200 rands.
Yes, but we can also find a way, you know, whereas we educate our boys and say, even though you are not that smart, I would say you're not that smart to become a doctor or an engineer or whatever, but what do you love? You love sport.
Yeah.
So where energy goes, focus flows, or where focus goes, energy flows. So study something within sport, what you love doing, you know.
Go make faster banking and plastering. Like whatever. Just go do something that you...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear what you're saying.
You know, and then you study something within sport, you know. And then after sport, you know, you can become a referee, you can become a sports physician, you can become the new thing is the analyzing. You can become an analyst.
Analysis and commentary on TV.
You see.
Yeah. So the cake is too big. So you just gotta choose where you fit it.
You just gotta choose. The field is too big. You just gotta choose where you want to go and where you can fit in, as you say. And we should not make excuses. You know, just after our retirement or after we no longer have a team.
Yeah.
Have a team. If you haven't retired and you no longer have a team, we should not find excuses. Just that we should now come together, you know, and also come to realize, you know, maybe we can start doing workshops as ex-professionals, you know, start doing workshops where we do some
the youngs that are coming up,
you know, the youngs that are coming up. But I go back to again and say just that within the structures of the clubs, professionally, fill the gaps. Simple as that. Fill the gaps. Simple as it, just.
So who finds out? You gotta pick. You gotta see where the club is lacking. There's something that there's a loophole there. I can go in there. But isn't that also them allowing you to get into that space as a club?
Yeah, other clubs they won't allow it. Other clubs will deny it, but they know it's the right thing to do. But they won't allow it. They will deny it. Maybe because they don't think that far, I would say, or maybe they just don't want to do it. But we cannot keep wasting talent. Year in, year out, just we cannot keep wasting talent. As I said earlier on, I don't want to mention names, but there's so many examples. You just win player of the season now, top goal scorer of the season now, whatever. Then the next season, you are injured, you try to come back, blah, 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 blah. You play 1-2 games, you score 2 goals. And in third season, we don't know anything. We don't know where you are, what happened to you. We cannot have that, and we need to break that. As I'm saying, when we need to break that, we need to fill the gaps. And when I'm saying we're filling the gaps, every club's got challenges. Every player's got challenges. All of us as players, we're coming from different upbringings, different ethnic groups, different personalities, and different egos.
Yeah.
Big egos. Big egos, you know.
True that.
So if you've got a strong setup in terms of how we can always make sure that these players...
So that's leadership, strong leadership that understands and accepts.
Exactly. You know, then we will be able to have more consistency.
Do you think it's all about more loyalty? I've seen that in overseas, there's more loyalty to their ex-players than us here. You know? You know, do you think it's more of we are just being used like gum, like you know gum, you chew it once there's no sugar, boom, throw it away. That mentality has to change with a lot of clubs. I think there's got to be a lot of success if you if you have a Parker with so much experience, you got a Kune, you got a Tsiki. Do you understand? And I'm the owner of the club, or I might be the manager of the club, and I'm trying to buy tap or somewhere, and I've got Tsiki sitting next to me and saying, that's the right player for Kaizer Chiefs, or it's not the right player for you. Might be paying Tsiki 10,000, 15,000. You're losing 20,000 a month. But Tsiki, by you running it past him, saying I'm trying to buy a tap or somewhere, he'll tell you if that's a Kaizer Chiefs player or not. You're losing $20, 20,000, but you might make 2 million out of that decision.
Yeah.
So do you think that would work?
It would work, Josta. I agree. It would work. And there's also other avenues where it also would work as well. We us who has played, who has been successful at bigger clubs, whether it be Sundowns or Pirates or Chiefs, we've been successful at those bigger clubs. We have adopted a culture. We implemented culture, and we know the culture. And then from there on, we just want to give back the culture. We want the next person to carry on, with that culture, the legacy, and with that culture, and that is what overseas does. Every youth player, they love it. They love the culture. They get into it. Already, Josta is a regular at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Already there's a youth player who's going to replace Josta in the next 2-3 years.
Who's more similar or even better than Josta.
Yeah, exactly. And then automatically in that kind of way, when Josta has given his service and has done his service, he gets celebrated every time he visits the club. He gets his how can I say, you get your
flowers, like type of
I wouldn't say flowers. You get your visit is being appreciated. Your visit is being appreciated. And when that young player sees you, now that current young player sees you, automatically visuals come up. Oh, he used to score like that. Oh, he used to do that skill. Oh, he used to be such a tough defender.
It's something,
that automatically is inspiration to him.
It's something about Ajax.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Ajax apparently, when you have the Stoichkov, or who played there, let's say Marco van Basten, right?
Yeah.
So he was a striker, right?
Yes.
So they say if they sign you as a striker, they will show you all the strikers that they've ever played for Ajax Amsterdam
through the generations.
Through the generations, and show you how these players have played. So these are the videos that you looked at.
Yes.
The people before you.
Yes.
Now, when you come in, they say, this is how these people have been doing. Yes. So how are you going to be doing?
And then those same people that did it, they just actually put it into you. So they are still within the structures. They're still within the structures. They still play a role, within the structures. Even if those who play a role certainly still within the structures. Even if they don't being incentivized. But that appreciation that they would feel, they would automatically give, their all into the next generation to continue that culture.
So aside from coaching at Galaxy, he's a new coach. He's telling me that he's loving it and all that. He's also doing some great job with Black Label. It is a campaign called the No Excuse campaign that he's running with. Joining us right now is Izinja Ndwandwe, who's a brand manager at Black Label, who's going to be explaining, obviously, giving us the full 411 of the campaign of what it's all about. So, Izinja, tell us about this campaign. For somebody who's sitting at home who doesn't understand this No Excuse campaign, what is it all about?
Well, thank you so much for having me here today. It's such an honor.
Yeah.
And of course, I've got Parker. I'm young, so I call him Parker. This dehorned, Parker. So it's great to be with Parker. He's part of one of our Champions for Change. Really, he's such a great man and a role model, and very true to what No Excuse is about. So No Excuse is a campaign, in fact, a movement that we started, in Carling Black Label around 2017, when we saw, and we can all agree, that was really the spike, I think, in the media. And when we really started to see that this thing of gender-based violence and femicide is a big problem in South Africa. And so we started this movement to say there is absolutely no excuse for abuse. No matter what, no matter how, there will never be an excuse for abuse. And every single person in South Africa, because it's such a big issue, needs to do something. And so we're calling on all South Africans, particularly AMA soccer fans, Uguti, they must join the champion team and they must become champions for change.
Over the past few years, we've seen this No Excuse campaign, obviously combining with football as a whole, what is like, no excuse have to do with football? If somebody sitting at home, maybe like abuse, alcohol, black label, all this type of things, like how would you explain that?
No, 100%. And I think that'll also talk about, our most recent campaign. Maybe Ababugeli were able to see that, at the Carling Cup, our injury time campaign. And really what we're saying with that is, the real injuries happen off the field. So whether your team wins, whether your team loses, there's absolutely no excuse for abuse. And so in some of our research throughout the years, and I think our fans and we can all agree that, we are so passionate about Ebola. I don't think there's a sporting code. I think rugby is right on our tails. But where we can bring people together, particularly men, abantu besilisa, coming together to the game and, with stars that they absolutely love, like Abu Parker. And so when it gets to that 90 minutes and when it gets to that time, the tensions are very high. And in some instances, we see that the violence does spike. And we've seen this in instances in our stadiums. We've seen it. And so in some cases as well, that violence doesn't just stop a stadium, but it's carried through into personal violence. So we're saying that this is such an important moment for us to remind our fans to say, in that moment, you can make the champion choice. And so much so that we have this WhatsApp line actually. And if you need help, if you need to have a silent conversation with a mentor, with a man who can help you maybe deal with some of the issues you're struggling to deal with, or if you are a victim and you need counseling or some sort of help, you can WhatsApp Brave to 0800 150 150. And really, that's just it, right? And over the years, we've done other executions. I think soccer is such a huge and such a powerful platform. And so what we want to do is use this influence for good.
You chose the right guy, right? Great father as well. I mean, he's a guy that I played with, for longest of time. I mean, great family man, great father as well. I mean, P, let me come with you, bro.
Yes, bro.
I mean, as an influential, person, not only in football, but, in the community as a whole. I mean, I know where you come from and what you are right now. Why did you end up choosing, being part of this No Excuse campaign?
As this movement, as No Excuse, going with this movement, is to make sure that we try and reach as far as we can. There's a lot of broken men out there. There's a lot of families that got broken up because of the male figures in the house, and there's also a lot of families that has become like a generational curse. Where the son would see what the father is doing, and then he thinks it's the normal
excuse
stuff.
I see my dad doing it. That's why I'm doing it.
That's why I'm also doing it. And there's also a lot of young people out there as well that's got that hate in their heart as well. For their fathers being absent, and now they also got that hate in their heart as well. And then when they grow up, they grow up with some sort of resentment, and they do not become that upstanding man in their community or in their environment. So with the No Excuse movement, there's a website, at noexcusesa.com where you can find all.
What is it again?
Let's mention it again. noexcusesa.com, where you can find all these particular tools, that you were not even aware about. And it will give you an eye opener in terms of how I can become a better man, how I can become a champion man. We want more champion men in our communities, in our stadiums, as you said. And with the No Excuse movement, I believe we can do great things. So it's the journey continues, and we ask that we can get more numbers on our side so that we can make this movement greater.
P, I mean, we've seen a lot of people coming from bad families. Might be an alcoholic family and whatever, but you choose at the end of the day, you make that decision. If you want to be an alcoholic at the end of the day, you see your parents getting beat up most of the time. You choose when you have a partner in life later to not do what you've seen, your parents going through. You know what I mean? It's all about choice at the end of the day.
Exactly. It's what Nanjabulo said earlier on, the brotherhood, So, I grew up without a father in the house.
I wanted to come into that.
You see, I grew up without a father in the house. But
and who's the best father now?
It's just because I got to stay at other people's houses, my friends' houses and all of that.
Yeah.
And when I sleep over and then I can feel that love, and I can feel that mentor, that role model in front of me, and that mentoring that I get from other fathers. And I said to my mom, sometimes I didn't want to come home. I just wanted to be in that house because I could feel that love, and just that environment, And when I turned professional, there was a lot that happened as well. And I said to myself, if I want to be what I want to be and what I want to become, I've got to implement what I've learned. And I learned it in my early development stages. So I just put it into practice, what I've learned. And here I am
as a coach now and everything.
Here I am, after becoming professional and had such a career, and now I'm a coach. So it's not for me as a coach now to make sure that these core values that I've learned, that I've inherited, to give over to the youth, and see how many
they got the best teacher, bro. They got the best teacher right now. I know you.
Yeah, just we've come a long way. We've played together at, not only at club level but also at national team.
Yeah.
And I also know you as well. You're a very, very proud father as well. We used to do
not easy, bro. Like, those kids are like something else. There's something else. But we know where we come from. We always want to be the best thing, so they can learn from us and they can be better fathers as well.
Yes.
Tell me about this champion for change course that you guys came up with. Like, is it accessible for everybody?
It is accessible for everybody, and it's also free, as Nanja will also said, and also there's also on that same WhatsApp line you can also call as well. I can repeat on 0800 150 150, on 0800 150 150, and on the other end there is a professional mentor, who can actually help you and also break down and actually get to the root cause. And help you and take you through what you're facing. We need more champions out there, and I would rally on a lot of men out there to join us, and become a champion, man.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for coming through. Since not Jabula, I know, you're rushing somewhere. Got a whole lot of stuff that you have to do, but thanks for showing up and obviously giving us the full 411 about this campaign. And hopefully we'll see you again. I know there's a Black Label Cup coming through as well. I know it's got nothing to do with the no excuse thing.
No, it does. I think that's exactly it, right? By us saying we're using the influence of soccer for good means that we have incredible partners. So maybe they've seen this beautiful jersey that we've created alongside, the PSL. It's a beautiful jersey that I think will unite fans across all 16 teams on something I think we can all believe. Uguti, there's no excuse for abuse. So if you guys also want to get this beautiful jersey that you can wear when you're standing in the side, in the stands as a solidarity to say, me as a champion fan, I will not be silent in situations of abuse. Please go to noexcusesa.com. You can complete the course, become a champion for change. And I know you guys can't see the back, but you could possibly get your name, imprinted in here as part of this movement to say, together, we are all saying there's no excuse for abuse.
I know there's a few players that you're working with as well. Who are those players?
For now, is what I'm working closely with is Happy Jele. There's also Rililo Tuliani, there's Benny McCarthy, there's Lyndon Tambo. There's a lot of us that is trying to push this movement as strong as we can. We know that football is the largest supporting sport in the country, so we believe that we can reach out where it needs to be reached in terms of us pushing the movement. Just let me also tell you, give you one example. The 2-3 best teams in the world, it's for currently, it's maybe a Bayern Munich, it's a Real Madrid, a Barcelona. Maybe I'll just mention those three.
So Man City is not part of it?
Man City, no, their history is not as huge as these clubs that I've just mentioned. Their history is not as huge.
Going to,
So throughout these generations, every coach that has come there, did anybody of them change the system?
Oh, snap.
Did anybody of them change the culture?
Oh, no.
They stick to
snap,
the
yeah,
4-3-3 right away.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as you come in as a coach, you have to come in and also adopt that culture and find solutions.
Oh,
How you're going to get the team, you're going to keep the team running and continue winning trophies within that same structure, within the same culture, within that same. They do not compromise, no matter what.
Didn't look at it like that.
You see? Then you got to find a Man United. Now, this coach comes, you want to play 3-4-3. The other one comes, you want to play 5-6-1. The other one comes, you want to play that. Is there continuation in terms of what of the history and the culture, what has been built?
Damn, dude, that's
Just
one point that I never looked at.
You see? Do we get to adopt that?
No, most teams I've seen, Kaizer Chiefs, I'll use Kaizer Chiefs at this point.
Okay.
Tickets generations, doctors generations, ticket generation, they were playing the same. You knew how
The same.
the same, right?
Mm.
And after tickets generation, we came in. I think we were playing different as well. We were not playing like how they.
No,
do you think we were playing more like?
We did. Just you know.
No, not
Since you
that
also-
much.
Still, just that Chiefs were
Certain way of playing.
Chiefs were having a certain way of their playing. It's always leadership and cleverness in the center.
Oh.
Always been special goalkeepers. Always been skillful wingers.
Yes.
You one of them.
Yeah.
You know, and always been goal poachers.
Snap.
You know,
Robust centre backs.
and a lot of creativity midfielders.
Yeah.
A lot of creativity. It's always been like that, Justin. Even with your generation
Yeah.
as well, Justin.
Yeah. Okay.
Think
Dude,
about
like,
it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Then thereafter, did we still have skillful wingers? Did we still have at goal poachers? Did we still had thingy?
Not now. Not.
Yeah,
It's not like that now.
No, but I mean, like for instance, if a team also goes through a little bit of a challenge in terms of a trophy, a drought,
Yeah.
or whatever. But if you can see that this certain individual or certain player is one of the best, even though the team still goes through a challenge, he still gets recognized in national team. You know what I mean. You still gets to be in the national team. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we also have to look at it in that kind of way as well. You know, it's not only about the team performance or whatever challenge the team goes through, but you would specifically can also identify individuals.
certain individual that
certain
carries
individuals
weight.
Carries weight. Thank you.
So you think
Thank
some of
you.
the decisions that were made, whatever's happening now, people don't realize that it's the decisions that were made like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Coming back to bite Kaizer Chiefs right now. I think some of the boys, like you say, they got rid of Parker, but there was no Junior Parker sitting next to him.
Yeah.
They got rid of Shaba,
Mm.
but there was no somebody that could play more similar like Shaba.
Mm.
Vice versa. Obviously, like after Nengomashi, there was Katsande.
Mm.
Katsande took over.
Mm.
You know, you had the strikers, you had Mbesuma. They've never found anybody that looks like Mbesuma ever.
Mm.
And then you look at Kune
Mm.
and
Mm.
Kune and Brian Baloyi and them.
Mm.
We all know why, because of the goalkeeper coach that
Yes.
left.
Yes.
obviously, like, you know, that good German goalkeeper, what's his name?
Reiner.
Reina. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you saying the problem is that if we don't come back and say, guys, this is the problem, it will never be fixed.
I wouldn't say a problem, just you know, there's no problems in football. There is always solutions. There's challenges, and we always have to come up and find solutions. Guaranteed, no matter what. This is the beautiful game. There's no answers in football. There's no answer in football. We always have to come up with solutions, and we always have to come up with solutions for continuity. And as you mentioned, the players as well at Kaizer Chiefs that didn't get replaced, and it was the next superstar or the next whatever. There were, I can mention, maybe there were the next Shaba, maybe I could say, maybe an Extain at that time.
Extend is more of a Tiki.
Tiki. Yes.
Tiki. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
and
more of a tiki.
Yes.
I think that Nkambule was more of a tiki.
Oh, a tiki. Yes.
Let him go sooner. For me, I was shocked. Chiefs
Mm.
letting him go. That was a boy that had
Yeah.
so much talent, but
Yes.
maybe the attitude, maybe the behavior, maybe the lifestyle. But that's got nothing to do with the field,
It's
right?
got nothing to do with the field. Hence, I'm saying if we've got a good structure where gaps are filled, no matter what the player does, just that when he comes there, he will be tailor-made. He will be tailor-made. That jersey will be tailor-made for him. Every time when he represents everybody, when somebody represents himself and the club on the field, no matter what of his history, that would just fall away. You know, just like that's
he's wearing a tiki jersey.
Supposed to be.
Already he knows that this jersey has been worn by yeah, you know, you got Black Jesus.
Exactly.
You got this jersey, you wearing this jersey, you know who was okay. I see what you're saying, bro. I never
because internally he's been reminded every time. It's repetition, and reminders internally on a daily basis. So once you get that on a daily basis, it goes specifically in your muscle memory. You know, subconscious mind also will register and tell you as well. So whatever you also do outside of the field of play, there is that something in your subconscious mind that's telling you, hey, Intwana, not too much, or Intwana, hold a little bit there. Intwana, this is a do or this is a don't. You know, it will always be in your mind so that you know that the next day you're fresh, or you know that you have to be 100% on the weekend to perform. So Pirates has found the formula again. So Pirates has won the double treble with Ubrahep, my friend. They've won the double treble, you know, with the generation with Lucky Lehuate and Sangweni.
And they lost it a bit after that.
Yes. Then after that, they had a clean out. Remember?
Yeah.
After the treble, they had a clean out. Yeah. So they let go of a lot of players. Monique Josephs, Dane Clay, you know, a lot of players that they let go, but they couldn't replace that type of quality that they had at that time.
Yeah. And
then they also went through a hiccup again. But that 4-3-3 culture that they had, just a fire that 4-3-3. That's the same 4-3-3.
Still kept it.
It's now. That same 4-3-3, that's the Pirates coach. It's now that we see now. With a whole lot of energy, flair.
Youngies and whatever.
Yeah, energy, flair, all of that you see right now. So, Pirates have found, they revived their culture. Nothing to do with anything else, but it's all about the culture. And now, what does the culture do? It fills the seats. Have you seen how Orlando looks?
Yeah. Crazy, right? And we haven't seen Orlando Pirates like, you know, filling up the stadium like that in a long time. I see what you're saying. Yeah. People now starting, because they see, what they see, they love to see.
They love to see.
Yeah.
Yes. And
they all this entertaining football. That's all you want.
That's all you want. And what does that do onto the players? It gives them that extra oomph, extra energy. You know, caps are filled. You know, players are now on a good mindset, level-headed, and the consistency is there. So now you can say Pirates is now
hold up. But you gotta give credit where it's due. You gotta give it to the coach.
Yeah,
I gotta give it to the management. Because for management to let go of what they used to doing, being in control, wanting to control everything, that's been the South African way of running the club.
Yes.
I'm the boss. I run everything.
Yeah.
Right? For once, they said, let's sit back. They get a Spanish coach who comes in with so much pedigree. A lot of people thought he was a carpenter. This is a man that understood a lot of youngies.
Yeah.
Worked with a lot of youngsters.
Yes.
He comes in, probably says, I'm bringing my own team. This is my own way of running the club. You let me run the club. More like Pizzo. More like Rulani. More like how Sundowns is running it. Right? And then at first, didn't do that much. Now you see this guy like, you know, doing so well because they're giving him the responsibility of promoting the players that he wants, doing the job that he wants. So if he fails, he's been doing it himself.
Yes.
He hasn't failed because they've given him that.
They have given him that, Josta, but also under the guided leadership. Josta, under the guided leadership. As I said, I go back to the culture.
Of course.
Under the guided leadership.
Of course.
So if it's under the guided leadership, you know, and said, this is the type of players, you can have whatever you want to have, you can sign whatever you want to sign, but it has to be a certain type of criteria of player. So the coach probably he knows now the PSL is competing on a weekly basis. And then while he's competing on a weekly basis, he can automatically identify players within
the structure,
within the league, who he wants to bring in the structure, or who he wants to strengthen the squad in a particular position, and according to the type of profile, the Pirates way, the type of profile player the Pirates way. And players that has been coming in, just been adding value crazily. The competition is very stiff, right?
So it's like, and you see, it's like one player at a time, eh?
One player, yes,
at a time. Boom.
Exactly. Reminds me of the successful Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
Liverpool hasn't won the league in over 30 years, and then Jurgen Klopp came in, not with the biggest budget that Man United and Man City had, but he slowly made sure that every transfer window, with my 200 million,
Yeah.
I can sign 2 quality. But he had a plan to say, this is my 3-year plan. So with my 200 million, I can sign 2 quality players every transfer window, by strengthening the team where it needs to be strengthened in a certain department. So he first started off, he put his head on his block. He signed Van Dijk, 1 defender, for 80 million. And then next transfer window.
That's a spine.
Yes, that's the spine. Next transfer window, I signed Mohamed Salah. Next transfer window, I signed Mane.
It's a winger.
The next transfer,
It's a winger.
Yes. Next transfer window, I signed Fabinho, holding midfielder. The next transfer window, within 3 years, he won the league. He won the league over 30 years, within 3 years, because he made sure that he knows where to strengthen his squad in the areas where it needed to be strengthened. The Liverpool way. And then from there on now, he won Champions League again. He won the local cups in the Premier League, and that is a guy that transformed the club in terms of the culture that they had in the past, winning cups, and he transformed that. And look at that where it is now. So with all respect to Mr. Arne Slot, he inherited a strong squad.
Yeah.
Taking back to Sundowns here as well, my mentor and coach Pizzo, he came in at Sundowns and he said that this is the way we're gonna do in terms of getting Sundowns back in terms of the passing game.
That was like what, 20? That was like 20. Let's say 15 years ago. See, that was 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
But before then, Josta, you were the team that won the league, and what were your team about passing? I think at one
Shushan
stage,
and Piano.
Yeah, at one stage,
Yeah.
you made maybe I think over 20 passes.
Yeah, they were just looking for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
people were just looking for it.
Yeah.
I can also remember the game against Chiefs as well, where you won. So that was the Sundowns culture, making a lot of passes, and then from there on, drawing the opposition and then changing gears and then scoring.
Yeah.
It was the Sundowns way. When Coach Pizzo came in, he changed it and he said, this is the Sundowns way and this is how I want. We have to play the Sundowns way. And he also handpicked. And in the beginning, the fans didn't see. They didn't see the bigger picture. They didn't see it. But through the support of the chairman, the fans were booing him. They were throwing things at him. They were just bullying him. But the chairman supported him because the chairman knew what he's about to do.
So that's where you're coming from.
Yes.
The leadership is important.
Exactly. And look what.
20 years later, this guy's, for 10 years, it's just
Yes. You won the Champions League. You won so many league titles. You won the Super Cup. You won so many things. He's now the most successful coaches
in Africa.
Now the most successful South African coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we have to, and Coach Pizzo, he actually also filled the gaps. He actually fill the gaps with his man management skills.
Oh yes.
He actually also fill the gaps.
He's one of those that could
players.
he's one of those that would like. I know he likes that being present.
Yeah, being
into
present.
his players' lives.
Yes,
What are you
yes.
doing? Are you buying a house? Are you doing that?
Definitely.
Buy this car, save money.
Yes, he was that type of person
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. He would even call you. Even if you stayed with your girlfriend, he will even have your girlfriend's number. And he will have
Sleeping.
your handline. And he will have your handline number
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
you know. Hey, what you doing? I'm just checking up on you. What's
Yeah,
happening?
spying
Blah,
on
blah,
you, not
blah.
checking
You know,
up. Yeah,
you know,
but I understand that
Yes,
he had a robust type of way of managing players.
of managing players. And he would even tell a player straight to say, okay, you are not behaving. You are not doing what needs to be done. It's fine. Next transfer window, I'm going to sign your replacement.
He tells you straight up.
He tells you straight up. He was that type of player. He said, no, it's fine, my boy. For now, you're doing good. You're doing great. But you're not doing the things according to how we need it to be done. But it's fine. But if you continue this way, I can sign your replacement
snap.
in the
He was
next
like that.
transfer window. He was straight up like that.
So he's like
That's why everybody
savage
was
as well.
on their toes. Yes, that's why everybody was on their toes. So I would know if I mess up, I'm out. I would know if I don't do the right thing, you know, my thing is compromised. My position in the team is compromised. So that also just came also in a mental part of the player as well, knowing that if I don't do the right thing, I might not.
Yeah, to
find
get rid of you
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
Not you think?
exactly.
Let me flip it. Now you spoke about all this Pirates doing well, Sundowns doing well. You think somehow that's how Chiefs has to do stuff if they want to get their successful ways back?
I think definitely, you know, especially now with the young players that are so energetic, enthusiastic, and got so much flair, which Kaizer Chiefs needs, which is what Kaizer Chiefs is about. Can we protect those youngsters? I'm not saying protect by babying them, because when by babying them, they get into a comfort zone.
Yeah.
So when they're in the comfort zone, they no longer fully express themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I've also left players there that are still in their comfort zone, and they still can't.
When you were as a
play-
senior player, you could see that this
They
boy
are.
doesn't deserve to be here. You
No,
felt like that sometimes. You could
he
feel like I
deserves-
know this.
He deserves to be there, but he's still in comfort. He's in his comfort zone.
Oh,
You know,
snap. Yeah.
He's in his comfort zone. So because he's being babied. So if we protect them in a way where we can make them understand, why do I have to perform on a weekly basis? They have to have that in their mind that it's a must that I must perform on a weekly basis. What's the know-how for me to perform on a weekly basis? What is the certain type of routine that I have to follow?
Let me ask you, what is it?
You know, to
You
get
been
onto
there.
a-
You
on a
been there. Let me
weekly
ask you.
basis.
You signed for Kaizer Chiefs. You been there. You played at the highest level. I'm gonna ask you as Parker.
Um,
What do you need?
Hey, just
Be honest. Like, be for real.
you're putting me on the spot now.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
gonna do that. I'm
I would
asking you. I'm
say-
not saying anybody else. You tell me.
I would say now, first thing that you need to do, don't forget to work hard, because you come from a small club where you used to work hard. You carried the whole team with less quality. Now you come, you were the main guy. You know, you were midfield of the season or striker of the season. You come to a team where you now play with better quality, better money, better everything, better resources, and then you stop working hard.
More fans.
I wouldn't say more fans as well,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say, why do you stop working hard? Because your talent is there already. You've shown your talent and everything. We know what you can do. Now you come into another environment and you just stop working hard. Even with all the dynamics that are happening within the team, you know, it's about yourself. Because when you first signed that contract, you signed that contract by yourself. And now when you're coming here, you need to know that we brought you here for you to add massive value, for you to make a difference, for you to help. So now you're just coming in and you don't realize, or you don't not being reminded why you are here. And then you just relax. And then we say, okay, maybe he'll come out of his shell. Okay, maybe he will come all right. Then maybe you give a spark in one game, and then 3 games down the line, we don't see you phase out. You know, certain things like that happens. When I was there, happened, you know. And then here we are as players that has seen the do's and the don'ts, and knows what it takes to win a cup. Then we go the extra mile. We come early by leading by example. Come early before everybody. We're in the gym doing injury prevention exercises. Our plates are like this in terms of how we eat. It's in a proper departments, you know, in your plate. Then you put in your heart on your sleeve, you know, by giving your level best, and then you have to run past specific. You have to run past players and then past again, and then run past players and you run past them again. And then where you want to tell them to say, hey, you know, wake up. You know, we need to at least give hard work, you know, because
that's during the game.
That's during the game because I'm giving the hard work. And then the next thing, because I want to make a difference. You know, I always want to be on the ball. I always want to be there. Now that I always want to be on the ball, and I always want to make an impact. You know, you are now, how can I say, you're now touching the ball more. You are now being more involved.
Of course.
You know, and then the next person touches the ball 2-3 times. But then there's 2-3 times you played it safe, a safe pass, or the 2-3 times you maybe just made a special pass. And then
so they come in.
Then,
what do they call that? Like
then,
they in and out of the game. So they come in, out for 5 minutes, in for one, disappear in the game. So that's the problem.
That's the problem. And then they hide in certain circumstances, maybe because of pressure. But then, who gets the lash?
Senior players.
When the going gets tough.
Parker.
Who gets the lash?
Parker. The senior players like, this guy is old. That guy is, but you can't carry the team
alone. And those are the ones that knows and know how.
Yeah.
That we're just trying to
you're gonna make mistakes because you're on the ball most of the time. You're trying to make the team.
Yes.
Now you're gonna make mistakes.
I have to risk.
Yeah.
Football is about risk. You have to take risk. I have to risk. I have to risk and make the through ball. And when I make the through ball, it didn't go through. It's a mistake or it's a mispass. I have to risk all the time. So if I do not take risks and I just want to pass sideways and forward and I don't make mistakes, I'm clean, I'm happy, then I don't get anything on that. So what I'm trying to say is that when you come, no matter what, if anybody win, lose or draw, as Stuart Baxter used to say, you also with us with Coach Stuart Baxter, win, lose or draw, you cannot fault to hard work.
Oh, he said you should never have I should have, I shouldn't have.
Yes.
I should have. I could have.
You
used to say that a lot. I would have.
Yes.
Don't ever after the game, after 90 minutes, say, I should have passed it.
Yeah,
I should have done that.
Exactly, Justa. So when you put in hard work, I mean, our fans, our beautiful fans, you know, they can see like the boys today. Even though we lost, they were like, no, these boys, now today they did good. You know, and then maybe in the next game, you know, that same spirit will transform into the next game. But as I'm saying, nobody can falter you if you're putting in hard work.